There has been a lot of drama within the 2K community over the years, involving some relatively big names like in this video. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a time where the entire community turned on OSN because he was accused of scamming. If you haven't heard about this story, you have came to the right video, because I'm going to take you guys back in time about a pretty interesting event that happened within the community. The year was 2015, and I would like to personally say that I think this was probably the peak or around the peak of the community in general. Everybody was involved in everything, people were growing, and life was overall pretty good as a 2K player and someone who was a part of the community. Now, the crazy thing about this entire situation is that it didn't even happen in the 2K community. It happened in the Madden community. But it still somehow managed to make its way over to the 2K community, which I will elaborate on in a bit. To explain what happened, OSN tweeted out to his followers that he was looking to purchase some MUT or Madden coins from people and that he was willing to pay. He did a few transactions that went smoothly, but there was an issue with a couple of the people that I will explain. The two people he had an issue with were a dude named Cole2K and a guy named Monkey something. It happened a very long time ago, so I could be incorrect with the names, but I think it was somewhere along the lines of those, Cole2K and Monkey. Now, what happened with the Monkey guy was that they agreed on 1,000,000 coins for $100 grand total. So Monkey went first. Now, after Monkey went first, apparently OSN fell asleep for 30 minutes to an hour. And by that time, this dude was freaking out, calling OSN a scammer and everything else. Now, OSN even claimed that this guy called him racial slurs, which I'm not too sure if we ever found out if that was true or not. But regardless, OSN woke up to a bunch of tweets of being called a scammer and a bad person. Basically, the entire Madden and 2K community was on him for apparently scamming, and they definitely weren't too happy. Now, OSN saw this guy's messages calling him racial slurs, so OSN decided to block the guy. Because, let's be honest, if that happened to you or if that happened to me, I would probably do the same. I'm not going to sit there and be called racial slurs by anybody, especially if I'm in OSN's position. After he blocked the guy, this is where things really started escalating. The Monkey or Cole dude, I'm not really too sure which one it was, one of them or maybe even both of them went on Cash Nasty's stream and talked about what happened, and that's how the 2K community got involved. Almost every single person was on OSN's head, minus a few people who actually had his back. The situation with the Cole 2K person is apparently this Cole guy had 5,000,000 coins, but he apparently admitted that he scammed for it. So OSN didn't see why he would pay a scammer, so he just didn't pay him, but the grand total was around $450 to $500 that OSN apparently did not pay up for. Now, after all these situations happened, as mentioned, Cash had them on stream for interviews and actually ended up paying both of them for the money they missed out on. So Cash Nasty Gaming took it upon himself to raise some money and then gave them both a grand total of $500 each. I'm not too sure if that was the exact amount, but I know that Cash Nasty Gaming did dish out his own money to make up for the money that these kids missed out on. This then started some awkward tension between Cash and OSN for some time, and it was almost to the point where OSN started drifting away from the 2K community for a bit. Now, this story got a lot of attention, so much that it actually got on Drama Alert itself. OSN and Cash were on there talking about the situation, and OSN actually explains what happened between him and both of the people that apparently got scammed.
Explain your side of the story. You know, was $500 owed to this 15-year-old kid, and did you take it?
Yes, I can definitely explain my side of the story. First, I just want to thank you for letting me come on, because there's been a lot of people just calling me a scammer all week long, and I'm just really on here to clear up my name more than anything. So basically, what happened was I posted a Madden video earlier in the week asking all of my viewers if any of them would like to sell me coins to hit me up on Twitter if you want to sell them to me. Now, multiple people hit me up. Over 5 people hit me up, all of which I paid There was just a problem with these two kids, which are the kids that Cash is talking about. One of them, his name is Cold 2K, and the other one, his name is Monkey. Now, the Monkey kid hit me up first. This is, I guess he's 30 years old. I didn't know that at the time, but this kid hit me up first, and he hit me up around 1 o'clock in the morning, and he was like, yo, I will sell you 1,000,000 coins for $100. So I bought he gave me the 1,000,000 coins first, obviously, because I'm the trusted YouTuber, so he has to go first. So he gave me the 1,000,000 coins, and then around 1 or 2 o'clock, I dozed off, and I wake up not even an hour later, 30 minutes to an hour later, and this kid is like calling me a bunch of racist slurs and all types of crazy stuff in my notifications. Now I'm waking up to this kid calling me all of this stuff out of my name when he was just talking about how much he loved my videos and stuff. And I'm like, what? How does this happen? So yes, I blocked the kid initially. I did. I blocked him, and then I went back to sleep. I woke up the next day, and I'm getting a bunch of notifications, a bunch of mentions from people saying that I scammed this kid out of his $100, and they don't even really know what happened. At first, I was ignoring it, and then they start mentioning you, Keem. Once they start mentioning you, I was like, even though this kid is calling me a bunch of racist slurs and all of this stuff, I was like, I don't want it to affect my career at all. So I sent the kid his $100 plus an extra 25.
Now, after this all happened and the Keemstar coverage covered the entire situation, a lot of people started hearing about it and knowing about it. Therefore, a lot of people formed opinions and a lot of people took sides. After this happened, it was actually kind of a weird situation for OSN because a lot of people thought that he was a scammer, and then there was some people who thought that he was being truthful, and all of it was a misunderstanding. But as far as I can recall, about 90% of the community thought that OSN was a scammer, and this actually continued on for a very long time. In terms of OSN and Cash, the relationship there was a little weird, but it wasn't too extreme to the point where they hated each other. It was just more along the lines of Cash taking the side of the kids and OSN taking the side of himself, obviously, and saying that it was all a misunderstanding. Now, after this, a lot of people thought that OSN's career and OSN's image was going to be completely destroyed. But to be honest with you, after this all kind of died down, no one even remembered it. And I think this was around the time that OSN was getting into reactions and getting into different type of videos, branching off from video games in general, which was a great idea because OSN's channel has been extremely successful since he made the switch. But as I mentioned, a lot of people thought this was going to be the downfall and this was going to have a big impact on OSN's career, which it did have for a little bit, but in the time that it actually bothered him, no one even knows what happens anymore and nobody even cares. It kind of just blew over like most things in life and everyone moved on with their everyday life. Now you fast forward to today, OSN's doing great. Cash and OSN obviously have a great relationship, which is good, and no one really remembers what happened. Personally, if I had to give my personal opinion on it, I don't think OSN would need to scam, and if he did, he probably regrets it, and I assume that he's paid back those people that he apparently scammed. To this day, I never know if this story is actually 100% true because I don't know if there was legitimate proof of OSN scamming. And if there was, we never know if OSN actually sent the money through and actually paid up what he apparently owed. Nonetheless, this was a very exciting part of the community and every single person was involved. Big Madden YouTubers, big 2K YouTubers, every single person that was involved in either of the communities were weighing in on this situation. I mean, it was so big that it got on Drama Alert. And I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that that was the first time the 2K community has ever got on Drama Alert. So it was pretty impressive for the 2K community because we were kind of getting the coverage that we deserved, because the 2K community, I always felt like a community that wasn't really paid attention to enough, especially back in the day when it's in its prime and a lot of people were doing some big things. Nonetheless, this blew over and everyone's doing their own thing now. If you were a part of this and able to witness this, I think you could classify yourself as an OG in the 2K community. Ultimately, I think this is what led to OSN's departure from the 2K community, which I made a video on specifically. Nonetheless, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to drop a like and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you are new. Thank you very much for watching the video. I'll see you guys next time, and peace.